What up, Sauce Gang, and welcome back to the channel. Hot Sauce Beats here with another dope reaction for you. Well, happy Friday, and the way that we are kicking this off is with a brand new EvanMCGaming, the complete story of the Dream SMP Part 7. That is right, we are in Part 7, and this one is called The Rise of Los Nevadas. Now, Evan has said on Twitter that this is hands down his best video yet, and it's about an hour long, so make sure you got your snacks and you got yourself some drink, and let's get this show on the road. But before we jump into it, please help support the channel by smashing that subscribe and like button. It's absolutely free and it greatly helps out the channel. But enough talking, let's get to reacting and roll that bomb ass intro.
Hot Sauce Beats is finally here. Hot Sauce Beats is finally here. Eat, sleep, make beats. Eat, sleep, make beats.
Hot Sauce Beats. Woo-hoo! Oh, it's game time, chat. It's game time. Again, this is the premiere. We're about 30-ish minutes behind the premiere, but it's okay. I got it paused. Let's get this show going. Let's go, Sauce Gang! Sauce Gang! Happy Friday, everybody.
GHOSTBUR was gone, and Tommy couldn't imagine the chaos reviving Wilbur would bring. But Wilbur wasn't the only major threat to the server. Far away, a new nation rose from the
Love
shadows.
how he's starting off right where it
An old
left
ally,
off.
who in his pursuit of revenge would threaten to take over the entire server.
Let's go, chat! Is that loud? It's really loud in my headphones. God. And especially after Quackity's the finale. Like, I am so stoked for this. Now, this is gonna lead all the way up to the finale. So all of Los Nevadas, with the exception of the finale. Quackity's newest stream. Evan, this intro's insane, bro. Make sure you guys subscribe to EvanMCGaming too. This dude, he's almost to 1 million, by the way. Let's go, the Rise of Los Nevadas. I ordered my merch, by the way. It should be here in a couple weeks, hopefully. Los Nevadas merch. Woo. Thank you for the follow, for the subscription. Little catty cat.
Wake up now.
Get out of here.
Wake up.
Wilbur was alive. He had been trapped for over 13 years in limbo. And now, he stood in the ruins of Lemamber, the very place he crumbled in the cold hands of chaos all that time ago. He was a changed man. A white streak of hair reached down from the top of his head, a different kind of scar from his years of solitude. And as he looked his friends in the eyes for the first time in what felt like eternity, he couldn't help but smile. Tommy was conflicted. On one hand, his friend was back. His friend who just months earlier seemed to be gone for good. But on the other hand, this was not the same Wilbur who led them all to revolution. And one could only guess what bringing him back would do to the already unstable server. He was the happiest man alive, just to be alive. Wilbur had waited so long for this very moment, and it had finally come. He explained how each person has their own individual limbo. Tommy's was a dark, unforgiving void, and his was a train station.
Scared of that void.
Cold and lonely. Time passes much slower in limbo, meaning that Wilbur had spent 13 and a half years waiting for a train he feared would never arrive.
Just hold on. Literally, just remember that. Wilbur spent 13 years in limbo. And we haven't seen Wilbur at all for the grand finale. So we don't know what's going on with Wilburger. Nothing. So you know that arc's coming, fam. And real quick, Evan, dude, this dude is already going off with this editing. No one tells a story like Evan. Seriously, the way he's already edited this, the music, the way that he puts these, recreates these scenes and put all these videos together. I mean, it's literally top notch.
Making every flicker of light that reached his eyes that much brighter.
Thank you for joining the premiere, everybody.
Over the horizon. And as the light reached his eyes,
thank you again, little catty cat.
Wilbur's first day alive in over 13 years was about to begin.
almost felt
Tommy
bad for
began by
Wilbur.
touring Wilbur around the server.
Don't
Together,
trust Wilbur.
they explored the wide array of changes the server had seen since Wilbur's death. Starting in Lemamberg, Tommy explained how Techno and Dream had permanently leveled the land with their endless rain
that
of TNT.
And
Next,
withers.
the two moved towards Tommy's hotel, which was now owned by Jack Manifold, who had taken
Jack,
it
you
over
little
after
thief.
Tommy's death and had no plans of giving it back. Tommy and Jack argued for a bit before Tommy convinced Jack to let Wilbur speak with him on the roof of the hotel. They looked towards the prison, the cause of so much pain and suffering. The last time Tommy stood on this roof, he chose to visit Dream one final time.
And that, my friends, is my first Dream SMP reaction. My first ever Dream SMP reaction, not necessarily when he visited, but when Dream killed him. That is what I walked into. I had no clue about canon deaths, none of that. I'm like, okay, he's dead. Like, obviously he's a big character, but I didn't understand it. Now I do, obviously.
A decision that ended in his death. And now, he thought about GHOSTBUR, and how he would much rather be talking to the happy
07s for
little
GHOSTBUR
ghost.
chat. 07s.
He hated Wilbur. He was
Get them
supposed
07s
to
up.
hate Wilbur. But something inside him couldn't turn away. And as much as he didn't want to care, he did. Wilbur began noticing memories as soon as he came back. Memories from a time he never knew in places he'd never been. GHOSTBUR's memories, flooding back as he took in the world for the first
I
time.
miss GHOSTBUR.
He thought back to Tommy's exile, the pain, the manipulation. He saw it all. But it didn't matter what happened back then. Dream had saved him from that wretched place, conducted his train to life, gave him feeling again. And in Wilbur's eyes, Dream wasn't evil, but the only person unafraid of
Hero.
keeping lesser men
That's what
in their
Wilbur
place.
thinks. He's a hero.
Wilbur reasoned that a void remained with his death, a throne left empty, and that everyone, it seemed, was clawing at its feet for a piece of that power. And Dream, he explained, was the only one brave enough to stand up against them, to lay down the harsh hammer of justice on people unworthy of ruling, and that is why they threw him in prison. In his mind, Dream was the hero of the story, and his acts of manipulation and trickery were justified by his pursuit
And
of
chat,
order.
that
Tommy
reminds me.
couldn't believe what he heard.
That reminds me, right? So we found out about Puns, still being a Dream ally. I completely forgot about when I was thinking about allies that Dreams had, or Dream has. 100%. Wilbur's made it known. Like, he thinks Dream is a hero. And Technoblade was just repaying a favor. Technoblade ain't no ally for Dream, but I keep forgetting that 100% Wilbur is an ally for Dream.
Dream was right. Reviving Wilbur gave him total
Wilbur's
control
crazy, fam.
over his mind.
Crazy.
But no matter how far gone his friend seemed, Tommy could not find a way to give up on him. And so,
His downfall.
differences aside, the two continued on for the rest of the day. And even if it was just for a little while, Tommy and Wilbur felt free once again.
The way he
Dream
puts
had been in
these
prison
scenes
for
together?
nearly 2 months. Wilbur's throne left cold and empty. But a throne can only stay empty for so long. Quackity stood alone in the dark hall
Let's
to the
go,
final
Quackity
control
Art,
room.
baby!
It was here where Technoblade took his first life.
Pickaxe to the
But
teeth!
that day, he
To the
lost much
teeth!
more than a life. Quackity was at rock bottom. Since he ran for president of Lemamberg, all he did was see the best in people. No matter how much Schlatt insulted him, used him for power, he always tried to stay positive. So much had happened since then. But of all the paths in his never-ending maze of memories, Quackity focused on one. Something buried deep in his mind, something he hadn't thought of since the day it happened. He began to see it. The podium. Lemamberg. Wilbur.
Listen, I understand things are not easy right now. Things are tense to say the least. Elections coming up, everyone's
they're a little
on the edge of
tense,
their
you know?
seats. But I just wanted to get together and just talk to you. I want to pick your brain for a bit.
Okay, yeah, sure.
What has made you do everything you've done up to this point?
That's a big question. I guess
That's a
it's just
deep question.
protection for my people. I mean, I just want to see them thrive, and I want to see them safe.
Listen, I get it. I think there's just a big difference between you and me, and I think that I like to see the good side on people. I like to think that there's a side of everyone that is willing to work for wanting to see a better future for everyone. And I think that's where you and I are very, very different. See, when I
chat real quick, I just want to add some context to this, right? So this is before Quackity got a pickaxe to the teeth. This is before Quackity's fiancés left him. This is really before Quackity got broken, you know, before he got his heart broken and was a broken human, you know. So this is still where he was very optimistic and did see the best in people. So this is not manipulation here. This is Quackity being good and seeing the good in people.
Hey, when I got here, when I got to these lands and I wanted to join L'Manberg, I was told I couldn't. I was told to walk away because I wasn't allowed
British.
to join L'Manberg.
He wasn't
And
British,
to me,
chat.
that was a lack of belonging. And if I have to become president and tear down some walls in order for no one to ever feel unwelcome again, then so be it.
Your aspirations of optimism are not going to be subject to my nation's security, I'm afraid. I completely disagree with everything you've said. You say everyone has a good side, Quackity, and you're right. You're right. Everyone has a good side. But that good side is only there to help themselves. If you want to really help people, you're going to need power, Quackity. You can make a movement.
Quackity.
You can make a resistance, right? You can go out and you can come back and they'll give you a
Oh my
ticker
God.
tape parade.
That was
They'll
the Butcher
cheer for
Army,
you in the
wasn't it?
streets, but
I think
you
it
will
was. I think
change
that was the Butcher Army.
nothing. If you have a revolution, everyone will hate you. You will sacrifice everything and you will lose
blew up
everything you've
Lamber.
ever had. But you'll come back and everything will be
Crazy
changed.
ass Wilbur.
And Quackity, if you want to change things, you're going to need power.
I mean,
And power isn't gained from diplomacy and bureaucracy and giant courthouses suspended in the sky, blah, blah, blah. It's gained from swords, Quackity. It's gained from blades. It's gained from steel, iron. Even if everyone has this good side that you're talking about, then anyone who wants to prove it has to show their dark side first. You're going to have to kill. You're going to have to torture. You're going to have to maim. When I look at you, as a fellow outsider, you're not ready for that.
Yeah, I didn't realize that's kind of where he took some notes from. I mean, if you think about it, he's kind of followed what Wilbur said there to the T. Wow, okay, Evan, look at you doing your homework, bro. Doing that homework. Look at this. And here I am thinking I'm all caught up and realize everything that's going on, and Evan is still teaching me to this day. Because again, I was late to the Dream SMP. First time I ever got in the Dream SMP was when Dream killed Tommy. So the way that I learned about past history is from these EvanMCGaming, the complete story of the Dream SMP videos. And he's still teaching me that this is awesome. This is awesome.
I'm leaving.
God, this editing, fam. He went
Times
off
had
on
changed.
this.
The Quackity that stood atop that podium was gone. Wilbur had planted a seed, an idea in Quackity's head that was just now
Facts.
starting to grow.
Facts.
He thought about everything that happened, the pain, the suffering. Wilbur was right. Quackity was beaten down by the world, betrayed by the
Quackity.
very people he
Quackity.
trusted most. But he was done taking it. He was
Yeah,
done
you guys
pretending
enjoying
like
this?
everything
This
was
is
okay.
literally
He was
top
done being
notch.
pushed around, living his life through other people. He
Been
wanted
getting some
power since the day he
insane
joined,
Dream
and
SMP
now
videos lately.
he was finally ready to take it. A storm rages in the skies above. Quackity follows a dimly lit minecart track just outside L'Manberg.
Oh, this
Just
is a
minutes
stream.
earlier, he'd found a book from someone he hadn't seen in a
Oh
long
my God,
time.
Schlatt! Big man
He
Jim!
navigates his way through a forest, finding himself at the mouth of a cave.
This is
He took
where
a
it-
deep
oh
breath,
my God.
as he knew he was about to confront one of the most powerful men in the history of the server. Or at least what was left of him. And as he found himself at the coordinates described in the book, he stared directly through the ghost of Schlatt. Schlatt,
Big man
despite
Jim!
being a ghost, was not much different from the day he died. He still held the same confidence and coldness as the days he ruled. But now, he was
Thank you for
trapped.
joining everybody,
Schlatt
everyone that's
explained that he
following right
summoned
now. Thank
Quackity
you.
there because he needed help. Being a ghost, Schlatt was unable to leave the cave for more than a few seconds at a time, meaning that unless he got someone to help, he would be trapped underground forever. And that is where Quackity came in.
Forever.
Schlatt explained that he had heard rumors of a book, a powerful book that could give him life again. What this book was or how it could help him, Schlatt couldn't recall. But Quackity knew exactly what he was talking about. And everything Schlatt needed to walk the earth again sat in chains at the center of Pandora's vault. But Quackity had no intentions of bringing Schlatt back, not after how he treated him while alive. Rather, Quackity proposed a bet. He explained that he was planning something much bigger than the server had ever seen before. And if Quackity won this bet, Schlatt would never be revived and would have to work for Quackity permanently. No compensation. The same treatment Quackity got while working under Schlatt. But if Schlatt won, Quackity would set him free. Schlatt hesitated, but upon realizing he had...
We still don't know what this bet is, by the way. This is still not known knowledge. We just know that they made a bet, and then in this stream, immediately after the bet, Quackity changed scenes to something else, and I've literally seen all of Quackity's lore since. Like, we still don't know what the bet is and who won it. Does Quackity still owe Schlatt, the revive book? Does he not? Is Schlatt essentially a slave to Quackity now? Like, we don't know. It's gonna come out sooner or later.
No other choice.
We just don't
accepted the deal. And so, with everything on the line, the two left their futures to the luck of the draw.
Las Nevadas, baby! Let's go!
But before we get into the twisted world of Las Nevadas, I'd like to quickly thank the sponsor for today's video, The Sandbox. The Sandbox, at its core, is quite literally a sandbox where players can build, explore, and even sell almost anything they can imagine. Using their game maker and voxel editor, players can customize their land however they please, with no coding knowledge required.
Have you guys seen this?
But it doesn't end there. With its creative play-to-earn model, Sandbox players can convert their in-game playtime and resources to make real-life money. Players can also create, buy, and sell unique online items as NFTs, which are basically online items that can be bought and sold just like real-life items. Also, I'm in the game! Look at me go!
Yo, Evan,
so make sure to go create an account by clicking the link in the description to stay updated on the game and join me on my land when the full game is released.
Sick.
And now, back to the video.
I really wonder if Sandbox is gonna be the next big thing. So they're not live yet, but they are spending money advertising. So obviously Evan just did an ad for them. I think Mike Majak did an ad. I've seen a couple content creators start, doing paid ads for them. And I don't know. I think Sandbox could be the next big thing. Like, if I could buy stock in oh God, I should look into that. That could be a big brain move, chat. Is it Atari? Because it showed an Atari sign on there. Get stock in Atari, chat. You heard it here first. Stock in Atari.
Quackity had an idea the day he fell to Techno. Something that could get him the power he so deserved, the revenge he wanted, and the control not even Dream had been able to achieve. The world he desired. A new nation, much stronger than the likes of L'Manberg, built on the backs of people with nothing to lose. People like Quackity, people
literally
who
one of my favorite arcs I've seen yet.
To ever reach it again. And before long,
I dropped over $100 on Las Nevadas merch.
The plans were in place, and it was time for recruiting to begin.
Got me a hoodie, the blueprints of Las Nevadas.
Just the place to start.
Got the coin. Can't wait to get that. I'm gonna be repping that hard. Damn, repping it hard. I should be getting my Technoblade merch any day. Nate Allen already got his somehow. That dude probably paid off UPS or FedEx. I don't even think mine's shipped yet. I haven't got the notification of it. Nate's got it. Nate's got his Technoblade merch. You know what else Nate has though? He's about to hit 70k subs, and he's gonna react to the sus remixes of Dream songs. He's not ready. Oh, his ears are gonna be tainted. Jeez, Evan, bro. This is beautiful. And with this music, so like evanescence, right? I think I used that word right there. I think. the way he just with the music as we see Quackity show up.
Hey, I wanted to ask you something. Listen, I've been working on a country, and you.
So here, chat, I was not a big fan, which now that I've seen the finale, like, I understand the reasoning behind Quackity's video here, but I mean, the way he manipulates people here to join Los Nevadas, God, I mean, it was some evil crap, fam. Like, the dude was on his evil manipulation arc here, but I understand the reasoning behind it now, but
Probably might have heard of it. It's called Los Nevadas.
I mean,
You know, I have heard
have you
some
heard of it?
whispers.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
some rumors.
I wanted to ask you, would you like to join Los Nevadas? You're the first
you-
person I thought of when I thought of,
Oh.
you know, people to recruit.
I mean, I'm honored. You know, especially man. I was the first one. No, probably not. No,
I was
I'm kind
first
of
one.
happy here.
No.
Foolish, no.
Yeah. No.
I
What?
know who you are. You spend so many hours.
Quackity's such a good
so much
actor, fam.
work for so much.
I think
so
one of the
much
best on the Dream
yourself
SMP.
to building this place. But that's all it is. It's just a build. No one comes here. No one has a house here. No one stays here. People really just come to admire and then leave. Foolish. This is an empty shell.
This
It's
next
gonna
line.
disappear in
Hold on,
time,
not yet.
and no one is really gonna remember it. And you know what this build reminds me of, Foolish?
This right here. This is.
It reminds me of you.
Oh,
You used to be big. You
Such
used
a
to
good
be
line
great
right
with
there.
Everything you did. And now you are nothing but an empty shell. You are to be feared from the outside, but on the inside, everybody knows you were just a builder.
God,
And
this
I was
is so
hoping
good.
at some point that you would realize this after I let you die at the Red Banquet.
Mind
me
blown.
die?
Foolish. I was behind those walls and I could have saved you, and I didn't. I watched you die. And let me explain why I let you die. Yeah, take that out. Take that out, Foolish.
Take
You're
that
gonna kill
trident
me
out,
now?
foolish.
I did it for you. I let you die because I wanted a better version of you. The reason I let you die is so that you could finally realize that even being the builder that you are right now could cost you your life. You used to be a feared warrior. Anywhere you would stand, people would look at you and be scared. You were someone, Foolish. You were someone. Now you're nobody. And the
Quackity's so
reason
good
I
with
came
words.
to you
I'm terrible with
and
words,
told
by
you
the
to
way.
join my country
If
is
you haven't
because
noticed.
it's going to be a big thing. And what do I need for a big country? Big people, important people, people with skill, people who know how to do things. But the reason I came to you, Foolish, is because I see myself in you. I once also believed that peace was a way to live. I used to want the betterment of people. That was my life morals, Foolish. And guess where that brought me? That brought me nothing but suffering. That brought me nothing but a death.
See,
That's the
so good.
reality of it, Foolish. I was once like you. And that's the reason I let you die, and that's the reason I came to you. It's because you have so much potential. Whether
In this stream where he's recruiting people to join Los Nevadas, with the exception of maybe the slime sickle scene, this is probably my favorite scene in regards to just Quackity's acting. Because again, right? Yes, the Dream SMP scripted, but it's so like this script right here is like Quackity recruit foolish, Quackity recruit blah, Quackity recruit blah. All the words though, this is all impromped, right? Like this is literally Quackity just shooting from the hip. And this is why I say he's one of the best actors. Like this is just insane, chat, insane. And he is, yes, Jackie Roo, he is amazing with his words. Like I'm like getting moved by the words I've already heard. I've already heard these words and I'm moved by him still.
you want to realize that now or later, that is your choice. You understand me? I'm gonna go
Here,
now.
listen,
but you know where
Linda.
to find me.
And he just leaves him with that.
Foolish
Boom.
was defeated. Quackity's words made him question everything he thought was right. Should he return to his old ways or trust the life of peace he had learned to love? He looked around. Quackity was right. As amazing as this place was, it meant nothing. He began to find himself hungry for meaning, being a part of something much bigger than himself. Foolish found his way to the border of Las Nevadas.
Let's go!
There stood Quackity, smiling intently behind his rigid scar as Foolish accepted the invitation. The next player Quackity planned to recruit was one no one had seen in a long time. A hitman, someone dangerous. Quackity knew getting purpled on his side would be an even tougher task than Foolish.
And little did we know at this time, chat, how much this would bite him in the butt. God damn you, purpled! God, I'm still... 07s, chat! 07s for Charlie, our beloved. Still not over it. Our beloved. Quackity ain't over it. If anything, Ooh, oh God, I can't wait to see what Quackity's gonna do.
But he had a plan for that. And following his deal with Purpled to take down the egg at the Red Banquet, the two reconvened in a nearby building to exchange payment.
Should not have screwed him over.
Whoa, gee, I was waiting for you all morning. Hey!
Where's my money? I mean, I did everything for you. Where's my money?
Right. Yeah, no.
This is what I did not like.
I would never forget.
Quackity upset me here.
You came for your money, and that's what you're gonna get. Come up here with me. Come up here with me.
God, this pissed me
There's
off.
your payment. Everything
Yep,
good?
everything's there. Appreciate it. Thank you for doing business.
Absolutely. Hey, you know what? Because I appreciate your help so much. I have something else for you. Wait up here. Wait up here. I have something else for you. Let me get it for you.
Ah!
All right. And...
What? What? It's gone.
That's
Fuck,
it.
Was that you?
It's gone. Purple, look at me. Look at me. Your legacy is gone, and I've taken it from you.
And
That's the last
because
piece
of this,
evidence
this got
that you
Charlie
were ever
killed,
here,
bro.
Purple. That's it.
Give me one
And you
reason
die
why I
along
should
with
kill
it.
you right now.
You die along
Right
with
now.
it. You
Right
die
now, you
along with it,
fucking
Purple.
bitch.
Purple, listen to me. Listen to me right now. Listen to me, okay? Purple, listen to me. I understand. I understand. You're mad. I understand. You're shocked. I did it for you, Purple. Okay? You have two choices,
What?
Purple.
What?
You have me cornered. You have me cornered, okay? You take my life, and you kill me, and you run away with the money, and you're gone. And that's it for you. And that's it for you, Purples. And I know how good that sounds right now for you, but listen to me, okay? Your other choice is to join me, okay?
Join you?
I know that UFO meant a lot to you, and that's why I destroyed it, because I knew that maybe somehow it would change your mind on how things have been going for you right now. You understand? So,
Yeah,
take the
Jackie
money,
Roo, that's what I'm saying.
reinvest
Because
it
he
in
looked
Las
at
Nevadas,
UFO,
and you can become
Purple
a part
betrayed
of
him and
history. Don't
killed
waste
Charlie.
your potential in the wilderness, Purpled. Don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not who you're meant to be. That UFO is gone. But if you let it affect you the way it's been affecting you right now, then that will be your legacy. But if you join me, you will be so much more. So take the gamble, Purpled. Take the gamble, and you can change everything. You know where to find me. You know where I am, Purple. You know where to
Sorry.
find me.
Sorry for blowing up your UFO. Sorry. My bad.
Purpled ran as far as his legs could take him. Quackity had destroyed the one thing he had left on the server, his only legacy gone. He knew killing Quackity wouldn't do anything. The damage was done. And so, for the next few weeks, he stayed alone in a house outside the ruins of L'Manberg.
See this?
Together,
I don't
him
know
and his
this
dog
right
lived
here.
peacefully, a much simpler life. But then, he started to think. Was this all he was meant for? What had he really done on the server? Nothing. Through every major event, he was just there, a lonely shadow in the face of a much larger story. Just the guy that was there for that one thing, the guy everyone had forgotten. He thought of Quackity, the fame, the power he would hold with his stake in the biggest country the server had ever seen. No one would forget his name now. No, he would be idolized. and when faced once again with the gamble, Purpled went all in.
But again, chat, Evan made this. This is before the grand finale, so no one knew about the betrayal that he was actually planning, right? You know, was he joining Los Nevadas to, you know, get the fame and glory? Possibly. But his main reason behind it was to get revenge, which he got. He got the revenge. And it makes me mad. Rest in peace, Charlie. 07's, chat. 07's. Let's get back to it. Is this Fundy? Yeah, this is Fundy. This is when he visits Fundy. So I know me some Quackity lore, fam. Literally my favorite.
Fundy! My good old
My
friend.
favorite
How have you been?
Videos on the Dream SP are Quackity videos.
What?
I got them memorized.
What?
Here, Fundy. Take a walk with me. Take a little walk with me.
This is why I'm so happy that Evan's
Don't you
doing
enjoy
this.
the
This
fresh
is my
air?
favorite arc right here.
How are you here?
What do you mean, how am I here, Fundy? I found you. You're a hard person to find, but I'm glad I found you. I think
Yeah,
that's
this-
the most
and this is a
important
dream.
thing.
This
that
is
we
all a
are
dream right here.
Here together now.
What is this place?
You should know it better than anyone, Fundy. What do you mean, what is this place? You don't remember what this place is, what it means? Come on, don't tell me you already forgot.
What?
Fundy, do you remember when we tried to kill Technoblade and
How?
we failed? That's where I got my scar.
It's just we tried.
Fundy, what's that over there? Oh, that is...
Oh.
Is that what I think it is?
Burger
Do you
van.
remember all the great memories
What
you
is all
had
this
in the
Meth lab.
van?
It's a meth lab. Don't
This
get
is
it twisted.
crazy.
Oh my gosh. The amount of meetings we didn't have inside this van. I'm gonna show you something. Come with me. Fundy, oh my god, come look at this. Look up. It's a tower.
The amount of battles we fought from up here.
You remember that, right?
Yeah, I do.
Remember all those things we did for our country? It was great. But you know what, Fundy? Those memories don't matter. All these structures, all these things we've built together, it's here now, but it's really gone. And none of it matters, nor will it ever matter. Fundy, if you think about it, you don't matter. Do you see how the
on that
sand and the
evil
wind
arc during
slowly
this dream,
deteriorates
chat.
the structure that we stand upon right now? That's what's gonna happen to you. But it's not gonna be sand and wind, it's going to be time, Fundy.
What the?
You're
I
gonna end
don't-
up alone. You're gonna let time take you away and you're going to die. And no one's going to remember you.
God.
Just like it happened in Lemanberg. But you know what, Fundy? It doesn't have to be that way. And I can help you.
What
I
do you
have
mean?
big plans, Fundy.
What are you saying, man? Like,
Fundy, all you have to do is join me.
Join Los Nevadas.
I'll give you the tools to succeed. I'll give you the tools to finally be someone.
Join
Because
it.
you're nobody right now. Take the tools that I'm giving you, Fundy. I'm gonna give you 10 seconds to decide. 10,
wait, no.
9,
Wait.
8, 7, 6,
Yeah, God, I love this. This stream was so
4,
sick.
3, 2.
Now wait, chat. This part got me. Just wait. I'm like, what? What just happened?
Fundy!
Boom!
My good old friend! How you been?
Mind
The
blown.
sun beats unusually strong on the streets of Las Nevadas, its glare almost as bright as the promises Quackity has made. He looks upon his first citizens, every one of them outcast from the world they once loved. And the other guy, who just kinda showed up. Together,
Yes!
they would be a part of something
We all
much
love
bigger
Charlie.
than themselves, the most powerful nation the server had ever seen. But there was one more member among their ranks. Someone who is quite possibly the best ally their nation could have. The key to Quackity's true objectives, Sam. Since Dream was locked up, Sam had felt trapped in his own prison, unable to leave Dream's side for more than a day or two at a time. He became lonely, obsessed with his duty of keeping Dream inside. The Quackity he found gave him a chance to take a break from life behind bars. For he had a new opportunity, a chance for Sam to make his mark on the server, something much more lively.
I dislike Warden Sam. I dislike Warden Sam. I dislike Warden Sam. I dislike Warden Sam.
Then a prison. And Sam, desperately needing an excuse to breathe, accepted the deal and started construction. Project Nevadas, he was told, would be the biggest thing in the history of the server. Towers reaching to the skies, lights bringing life to the empty night, a city fit for a king. But the real money, he explained, would be in the casinos. Hidden behind the bright lights, loud music, and luxury suites would be control. Debt, simple favors. One thing leads to another, and before long, the world owes Las Nevadas their lives. And finally, there can be peace, respect,
Casinos
or
work.
death, and at the center of it all would be them. On top of the world and the people bowing at their feet. And after months of planning, gathering, and building, it was finally complete. And alongside his associates, Quackity knew it was just a matter of time before Las Nevadas would control everything. Wilbur found something the day he came back. A note, left in a chest in the very place he was revived. The book was titled Project Nevadas, and was written to Wilbur by Quackity. Curious, Wilbur perched himself on a flat ledge looking over L'Manberg and opened the book to read the note. It read,
My dearest friend Wilbur, you were right all along. I won't make the same mistakes twice.
Immediately, Wilbur knew exactly what Quackity was talking about. He gathered his things and Tommy and left for Las Nevadas. Upon arriving, they were shocked at what they saw. Towers, lights, it was straight out of a dream.
And Wilbur's like,
And
no!
as Quackity noticed the two
No!
overlooking the country, he couldn't believe it.
I'll give you
as well.
competition.
Wilbur?
Insert
Oh
Wilburger.
my god, Wilbur! Wilbur, you're alive! Yeah, how do I look? How do I
I'm
look,
glad.
fellas?
Are you the concierge of this area? You like the cleaner?
This is so nice.
This is mine.
Wait, you...
I own this place.
Oh, so you're...
What do you think?
You're like a president then.
I'm the president, man.
Whoa.
I got your
CEO is a better term.
Oh, that explains. That's why you're here. Okay.
So that's the invitation
Wilbur.
to work alongside you. I assume I accept. I accept. I'd love to come in.
That was not an invitation. I'm sorry, Wilbur. Wilbur, my nation will not be subject to your unpredictability.
Quackity, I don't know.
No,
what
hold
you
on.
mean about my
Let me give a little context here.
unpredictability,
Let me
man.
give a little context, right? So this is what I love. Wilbur's words essentially inspired them. They were, a blueprint, if you want to call it that, of what Quackity would become and how he would rule, essentially, right? That scene that we saw in the beginning when Quackity was running for president, and Quackity's almost lived that to a T now. But Quackity, my friends, never forgets. He does not forget. Wilbur, even though he inspired him, did not let him become part of L'Manberg. And this was when Quackity was innocent, saw the best in people. So now Quackity's like, au contraire, mon frère, my friend, you are not allowed in this place I call Las Nevadas. I don't know where that accent's coming from, but it just sounded good to use. So I just want to give you a little context of what's happening here.
But listen to me, look at me. I am your servant. I am at your service. I have run countries. I've done everything that you will need.
Get out of here!
In a leadership role, Quackity. Even not in leadership. Quackity, you're making a mistake,
Wilbur?
man. You need to let me in. You need to let me be a part of it.
Wilbur, listen to me. I
Listen,
saw
Linda.
what you did to L'Manberg, and I'm not gonna let Las Nevadas have the same fate as Lemanberg. And again, I appreciate you coming to my country. Wilbur, I'm sorry. This is
Well, look, okay.
can't let you join. Do you
Am I
Tommy?
allowed, or
It's
is
like,
it just
bye,
Will?
Felicia.
Tommy, you and me could probably talk for a bit.
Sure.
Tommy, don't listen. Tommy,
Yeah.
don't
What do you
listen.
want?
Big Q,
I
look,
have the
so this
full-
is
you're
this
right.
your land, Big Q? Where I'm standing
This
now?
is my land, Wilbur.
What about
This
here?
is
Here's
my
where
land.
it
Is this your
starts.
land?
This is my land. This is
Tommy, come
mine.
with me. Tommy, at my side, please. What about here? This,
Okay.
this edge of the sand right here. Is this your land?
This is mine. Wilbur.
Okay.
I think you should just go, Wilbur.
What about this
is-
light green
let's go.
area? Is this
It's
your
an
land?
Eiffel Tower! Oh my god, this is Wilbur, we have found paradise. I want to live here.
Tommy,
near,
look at
or-
me.
Yeah?
This is
This is paradise, Tommy. Big Q, do you own this?
What are you doing? What are you trying to do here?
You're not answering my question. You're being
That's
petty.
what I'm trying to do.
You're being petty, and I love it. I love
I'm
it.
not being petty. I'm
I
not being
love
petty,
it.
Wilbur.
Oh, you're being
Big
petty,
Q,
but it's okay.
It's been lovely.
Wilbur deserves
seeing your nation. It's a brilliant nation.
But
I
again,
would know.
it's gonna
I would
bite
know. I'm a bit of a
Wilbur
connoisseur
Quackity
of
in the
them.
butt.
But you obviously like your money, Big Q, and you of anyone would know what's the point in capitalism without healthy competition. Welcome
I love how Tommy
to our new headquarters, Tommy.
You're joking. This is how you're gonna play, huh? This is what you're gonna do, huh?
I must admit.
Am I
Tommy's like,
infringing
"What?"
on you, Quackity? Are you scared?
You know what, Wilbur? You're right. And I'm ready for all the competition you can bring me. But you know what, Wilbur?
Mhm.
Congratulations on the opening ceremony of your new, soon-to-fail country.
Since the very beginning, Wilbur and Quackity never really seemed to get along. And now was no different. Quackity, once told he
Facts.
couldn't join Lemanberg,
Facts.
was now giving Wilbur the exact same treatment in Las Nevadas. And just like Quackity gave Wilbur competition in the election, Wilbur wasn't going down without a fight. And in the middle of
Dirty
it all
fight, though.
was Tommy, torn between the nation of his dreams and friendship. He had to choose. Wilbur and Quackity fought each other relentlessly to keep Tommy on their side. Quackity toured him around his great nation, while Wilbur reminded him that family and safety were much more important than flashing lights. Tommy went back and forth. The man who focused more on executing Technoblade than helping him in exile, or the man who destroyed Lemanberg and left the people alone in its ruins. A difficult choice, but Tommy could not turn his back on Wilbur, joining him in paradise. But it wouldn't be Tommy that would help Wilbur stand up to Quackity.
Bamboo.
Rather, another player. After Wilbur proposed his idea of selling burgers,
And so this is another plot that we don't know the ending of yet, because none of this was in the grand finale either. And I'm not going to speak more on it just because I'm guessing Evan's going to cover it, but we don't know how this arc right here, this part of the story
to
ends.
compete against Quackity's casino, Filza was uninterested, instead
Filza
suggesting
dodged!
Wilbur ask Rambo, who happened to live next door. Reluctantly, Wilbur made his way to Rambu's house and asked him to join Paradise. Rambu agreed, and for the rest of the day, the two
He's
worked
like,
on building and
"I don't
gathering
wanna be
supplies
here.
for their new company.
Go talk to Rambu.
But they were not the only ones preparing for competition. Over the past few months, Quackity had noticed Tubbo and Rambu building an outpost looking over Las Nevadas. Concerned with the subtle act of aggression,
cookie shack.
Quackity and his associates warned them very bluntly that if they refused to back down, their outpost would be moved for them. Tubbo and Rambu stood their ground, explaining that their outpost was going nowhere. But over the next few weeks, Tubbo started to think. Was it really worth it to fight Quackity, the owner of the biggest nation on the server, and his old friend? No. He began to
No.
realize that since Lemanberg was destroyed, his purpose on the server disappeared. He used to be president, someone with power. But now, other than Snowchester, he wasn't anything special. And so, when Quackity invited him to join Las Nevadas, Tubbo agreed without hesitation.
Tubburger.
The next day, after showing their completed van to Quackity, Rambu and Wilbur followed Quackity to his restaurant for a quick tour. But to their surprise, Quackity was not the one running the restaurant.
Tubbo.
The two were shocked to hear that Tubbo, Rambu's best friend and Wilbur's partner since the start of Lemanberg, had gone behind their back and joined the enemy. Angry, Wilbur and Rambu made for the door and headed back to Paradise. Both of them agreed that Quackity needed to be put in check. He was driving people apart, manipulating people into joining his cult of a country, and most importantly, he was taking over the server. Deep down, Wilbur knew that friendly competition would not be enough to take down Quackity.
Insert
But he
crazy
had
Wilbur.
another plan. Together with Rambo, Wilbur would take care of the problem the only way he knew how. Rain falls through the night sky onto the cold ground below. The prison seems unusually...
Okay, so now let me insert a little more context. So, for those of you guys who don't know, Wilbur convinced Rambo to place TNT underneath Las Nevadas. We don't know, A, if Rambo did, B, how much, if he let Wilbur know where it's at, but one can assume yes to all of those. I thought the grand finale, especially when I think Quackity's stream was titled Nothing Left. I thought Las Nevadas was going to be blown up. That has not happened. It may not. But so just to give you a little more context into that part.
dark as Quackity stares through the heart of its blackstone shell. But it's not the walls he seeks to destroy. He notices Sam approaching from the prison entrance. He had one more proposal, one final plan left to be set in motion. Quackity explained that even though Dream was in prison, he still had power. That book gave him power.
Facts. Even in
And
prison,
no
he's
matter how
powerful.
many walls stood in his way, keeping him inside, he knew they could never kill him.
It's true.
And so, Quackity reasoned, if he wasn't going to give up the book willingly, they would have to do some persuading. Sam didn't like the idea. The last time he let someone visit the prison, they died. And the second he let someone inside with weapons, the security of the prison would be immediately put at
I
risk.
dislike Warden Sam so
But
much.
freedom sounded too sweet to pass by. It all came down to one question. Did Sam trust Quackity? And after some thinking, Sam decided to move forward with the plan. And so, the two made their way inside the prison for Quackity's first visit with Dream. Dream stared in disbelief, fear for the first time since he entered the prison. He screamed for Sam to help, but Quackity reassured him that Sam would do nothing. He needed the book from Dream. It was the last bit of power Quackity didn't have. He had people, land, influence, but the one thing that stood between him and total control was that book. It didn't matter what he had to do. He would never stop until he had it. Dream watched as Quackity showed him exactly what weapons he would use until he got what he wanted. He wouldn't
I got the
kill
shears. I'm
Dream,
gonna shear off
but
your
he would keep
fingers.
him as close as possible. Every day coming back to turn his life into a living nightmare.
Literally.
But still, Dream didn't say a word. That book was the only thing that kept him from certain death. He couldn't give it up, or they would have no reason to keep him alive. Days turned to weeks. Dream continued to suffer at the hands of Quackity every single day until Quackity was done waiting. It was clear his plan wasn't working, and he was starting to get impatient. He began to think. He had Sam in his pocket, the entire prison at his disposal. Why not use it? He may not have been able to get the book by hurting Dream, but what about someone else? And Quackity had just the person in mind. And that fateful day, he came to Dream with a different request. To write a note, asking someone to visit. One of Dream's only allies on the server, a man who had disappeared for months on end, the cause of so much of Quackity's pain and the biggest threat to Las Nevadas, Technoblade. And with nothing left to fight
I
back,
think Dream's the biggest
Dream
threat,
got
but
to writing.
'cause I don't. Technoblade could care less about Las
Since his
Nevadas.
first
It's
day
not
on the Dream SMP,
not
Techno
government.
has despised government. He believed that power was destined to turn even the nicest, most positive people bad, and that true peace and freedom could only be found when no one had power over others.
We love
He fought
ourselves some
wars, betrayed
Technoblade.
friends, destroyed nations to protect these ideas. But still,
Anarchy.
government would always find its way onto the server. He knew he needed a way to stop the problem before it happened in the first place. And so, he got to planning. he imagined a force of like-minded individuals dedicated to stopping the rise of tyranny on the SMP.
Syndicate.
And with the help of Philza, the two officially established the Syndicate.
Woo!
The Syndicate's job was simple: seek and destroy any potential government. And because of their anarchist ways, the group would have no leader and all members would be encouraged to act on their own free will. Both Techno and Phil knew that 2 people would not be enough to make a difference. But lucky for them, Techno had some people in mind. He began
Still don't know
with
who the
Nikki.
5th member is.
After her sudden deviation from L'Manberg before the Doomsday War, Nikki had gone off to start her own city underground. And because of her lack of affiliation
seen
and
that.
utter despise of government, Techno offered her a seat at the Syndicate. His next recruit was somewhat of an obvious choice. Since his home in L'Manberg was destroyed, Rambo had agreed to move in next to Techno and Phil. Over the following months, the 3 grew very close. So when Philza and Techno offered him a spot in the Syndicate, he was more than happy to join. Together, the 4 players, as well as a 5th who is yet to be named, vowed to take down any trace of government.
And again, a little more context. So now Connor eats pants. Connor is a part of the Syndicate as well. He is the 6th member. We still have no clue who the 5th member is.
And keep anarchy for good.
I know some
Throughout
people
the
think
history
it's
of the SMP,
Callahan.
the
I know
members
that's,
of the Syndicate have all done their part to make sure government fails to last.
that's
But
a
what
theory.
they didn't see coming was the unintended consequences of their actions. Following Dream's imprisonment, a vacuum of power was left on the server. The very same Wilbur had explained to Tommy the day he was revived. And this empty throne was the only reason Las Nevadas was able to succeed. In the shadows, right under the Syndicate's nose, Las Nevadas had grown to something whose size rivaled even that of L'Manberg. And that fact alone was about to put the Syndicate in jeopardy. The day was June 1st, Techno's birthday.
Wow.
The members of the
God, time flies by so fast. I cannot believe that was June 1st. Is that how long? Jesus, chat. God, time
Syndicate
flies
gathered
by.
outside his house for a celebration. Fireworks exploded in the sky.
some cake?
Cake sat on the table outside. Everyone was ready for a break from chaos. Techno had just returned from a month-long training mission in the wild and was ready to catch up with his friends. But in the middle of their conversation, Techno noticed someone watching in the distance. And even through the darkness of the night,
Quackity.
he knew exactly who it was. Right away, he left the party and made for the nearby hill, wondering what would bring him all this way. He climbed the hill, and as he found himself at the top, he stared into the eyes of Quackity, the man who attempted to execute him, the man who had been scarred forever at the swift slash of his pickaxe. And history aside, Quackity delivered the message.
Listen, I don't want to waste your time. I come here for something pretty important.
Hmm?
You know, Dream. He's in prison.
Oh, I've heard of that guy.
Right.
I
I
heard that
have
guy.
been
He
visiting
saved
Dream,
me.
recently. Just a few days ago, actually, I went in and made a little visit, and he told me that he wanted you to visit him.
What did he say?
He was kind of vague with the wording, but he said that he wanted to finally call out a favor or something like that.
Oh yeah, I know what he means. You're telling the
What is
truth,
it?
right?
Techno,
Because
listen.
I would hate to be lied to on my birthday.
No, I'm not lying to you, Technoblade.
All right.
You know, I said at the moment I came here, I'm glad we left our differences in the past.
You know, that's true.
That's a good
That's
thing.
true. You know, the past is the past. It's all ancient history.
Yeah, at
The
the end of the
two
day,
of us.
scars fade away, Techno.
That's true. That's
I should probably be headed on my way now. It's a long trip ahead of me. I'll talk to you soon then. Have an awesome birthday, and I'll see you soon.
have a good day.
Techno was conflicted. Should he really believe the man who once tried to kill him?
Techno knew it was
Or
a
should he
trap, though.
risk betraying Dream?
100%
who
Techno
he
knew it
still
was a
owed a
trap.
favor from when he saved him from execution. As the people left the party, he continued to think. Why would Dream want him to visit now? What reason would Quackity have to lie? He didn't know. But one thing he did know was that visiting Dream would be way too interesting an adventure to pass up. And so, Techno made a few last-minute preparations, just in case things went downhill. And a few days later, as the sun began to pierce the cold Arctic air, he said goodbye once again. He crossed mountains, forests, oceans, all the while thinking of what he was about to do. He wondered what his old friend was like now, how much he had changed from his months of isolation. Until, for the first time, he stood consumed by the shadow of Pandora's vault.
Pandora's
Somehow,
vault!
Even in the light of the sun, Techno could feel the darkness and pain, desperately trying to escape those unbreakable bars. But he had a favor to repay. And so, he made his way through the portal, beginning his visit with Dream. Techno stared at the wall of lava. One press of a button and he would finally get to see his old friend again. And if anything, Techno was just happy to catch up. The lava began to fall. And Techno, happy as can be, was surprised to see Dream paralyzed by fear. Confused, Techno nodded to Sam and began to move his way
He's like, Techno,
across
no!
the divide.
Techno, no!
Yo, Dream! Dream, what's up?
Techno, no! No!
No what?
Quackity, it's a trap! It's a trap!
What?
Techno.
Eh? What about Quackity?
He's like,
Dream, you gotta
Forced me
explain.
to-
Techno just
I didn't
doesn't
write that
care!
note.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Dream. I kinda had a feeling he was lying.
All part of the plan,
But
chat.
I kind of had to visit anyways, just to see how you were doing, get to the truth of things, you know?
Get the blueprints.
They're working together.
Who?
Sam and Quackity.
Ugh.
Hey
Warden
Sam,
Sam,
how long do I have to be here before you let me out?
I think you could do with a nice long stay with Dream. They're probably the main threat to Dream escaping, aren't you? Because you know the two of you have worked together before, and
would never defy authority. All right, I love authority.
well, I think we
Cap!
both know that's probably not
You
true.
cap it,
Everybody
Techno!
will tell you how much
yeah,
Technoblade
no, you know
loves
what?
authority.
I think
Sam,
you're
could you just send the bridge back?
No,
If you could just send
No,
send that bridge back, Sam. That'd be
I think
fantastic.
The two of you, like
Sam,
you said, y'all are gonna have some great catching up. to
Sam,
do.
you hit the wrong lever,
The good
Sam.
news is, I think the two of you are gonna have plenty of time to do it.
Sam, I can't help but notice the lava comes down a whole lot faster.
I think you should,
lot faster than
you
it.
can stay here.
Sam, come on, Sam.
Enjoy your time.
Sam, this is not doing much to change my political opinions.
God, I love Techno.
All right, well that was nice. How's it going, roommate?
Techno and Dream, two of the most powerful players on the server, once feared by everyone
God,
but each
Techno's
other,
so awesome,
now
chat.
sad, with nothing, in the loneliest place on the SMP. Dream was devastated. For months, he had dreamed that maybe one day Techno would be able to break him out. Maybe he could leave this terrible place. Maybe he could see the world again. But that day, every last bit of hope Dream had was gone. The
Not with
only
Techno,
person
though.
who would ever be able to free him was now locked up at his side.
Techno knew.
The prison became his limbo, the days wasting away and no one with the power to save him. And now, he was really sure he would be stuck there forever. But Techno was not as convinced. Somehow, through the whole situation, his spirits had not dropped a bit.
Because Techno was still in
And
control.
right away, he asked Dream to write everything he knew about the prison inside of a book, hoping that maybe the two would find something that could help them in their escape. And sure enough, it wasn't long before Techno had come up with a plan. Something that was impossible with just one person. But with the two of them working together, there was a chance it might work. Because of the Elder Guardians trapped in the prison walls, everyone inside the prison is given extreme mining fatigue. This means that every block of obsidian in the prison would take just over 24 real-life hours of mining to break.
Crazy.
The reason Dream hadn't tried this already was that nearly every block in the cell set off an alarm if broken. And even if the alarms didn't sound, all it would take is one look from Sam and his escape plan would be ruined. And it just so happened that the one block hidden from view was one of the only blocks in the cell not fitted with an alarm. And before long, the plan was finalized.
Jump in that toilet!
Dream would start to claw his way through the obsidian floor, only stopping if Techno alerts him that Sam is coming to check on them. And once they broke a block, the process would repeat until, eventually, they would dig through the bottom of the prison and swim to salvation. And so, Dream got to mining, finally starting to believe that maybe, just maybe, he could live once
What up,
again.
Joey?
Days turned to weeks, and weeks to months. Dream began to feel freedom, so close yet just out of reach. Block by block,
that dirty
the unbreakable
toilet
walls
water.
of Pandora's vault fell at the relentless swing of his fist, until...
Quackity. I love the music he puts to this! Makes it seem so evil. Like we're like watching Blair Witch or something right now. Jesus, Evan, you went off on this, bro.
Yo, what the f*** is wrong with
Yes!
you? What the
With Techno
f*** is
trying to
wrong
hit
with
him
you?
off?
In my defense,
Okay,
that
you know
would've
what?
been
I was gonna
really
ease into
funny.
it. I was gonna ease into it.
So, giving you a little more context, chat, again, if you haven't seen this. So, something that's not in here was Dream XD showed up, which is God, and they had one wish. They could have wished to be out of the prison. Technoblade wished for his subscriber bell. One of us. One of us. And Dream's like, are you shitting me, bro? What'd you do that for? So there's a little more context
But
for
now
you.
I'm not. Now I'm not gonna f***ing ease into it. This is what's gonna happen, okay?
Why are you
I have one thing only. That's what I'm about to explain, Techno. So allow me to explain.
Could you hurry up?
You know what?
Because
You know what? I would appreciate it if
Only
you were
because you have
as far as
very,
possible. You know
very
what? You know what?
sharp
Just go as far as
weapons.
I
possible.
really
Just,
thought Techno was
just,
gonna die
yeah,
here,
beyond
chat.
the line. I've been trying to get this revival book for the longest time, Dream. Is today the day you're gonna give up the book?
I've told you again and again. I'm
Warden
not
Sam.
giving you the book.
Well, you might want to reconsider.
It's my
Because
Warden
this
Sam
guy
face.
right here is your only chance at getting out of prison. There's two of you, probably some of the most
You won't like me
strong
when I'm
people in the
angry.
server, but you have nothing on your side at this point in time. So Dream,
Bruh.
hand over the revival
Bruh.
book,
Bruh.
or I'm going to kill Technoblade. If I kill Technoblade,
Don't do it, Dream.
you know that it's gonna
Don't
be
do it.
the last shot you get of getting out of here.
Don't do it, Dream.
If I give you the revival book, you kill me. You might. If I give you the revival book, you might as well be killing me and Techno.
True, true. Where is our leverage after he gives you the book? You just kill us instantly.
That's true. You know what? You have a point. So what would happen if I just killed you both right here, right now? That revival book has brought nothing but problems anyway. So I think I'm just gonna do it. I think I'm just gonna kill you both. I might as well just get rid of you both right here.
let's
What
be
can you do
rational.
about
Let's
it?
talk about
What
it. Let's talk
exactly?
about it.
What
Stop,
exactly
stop.
can you even
Wait.
do about it? What
be
exactly can you do about it, Dream?
Calm down.
What if we talk it over? Give us time. Give us a
Yeah,
couple
come
weeks.
on, man.
Give
Let's
us
be
time.
reasonable.
A couple weeks. What
Negotiation.
exactly would I give you a couple weeks for? See, this is a problem,
To
Dream,
mine
and I
through
didn't
the
even
toilet.
realize this until Technoblade brought it to my attention. He's right. You will just revive him if I kill him. So all I have to do is kill you both. But listen, I'll reconsider because I'm in a good mood today. If you just hand over the revival book, nothing has to happen. I'll leave out of here. You do whatever you want. I'll work on my anyways, okay? All right, Technoblade, listen,
Yeah, I
you gotta
did,
convince
bro.
this guy to hand over the book.
Dream, you should absolutely give him.
Absolutely,
the revival
do
book.
it.
Okay, no, I'm done playing games. You know what? Let's just
wait.
I'll start off with Technoblade,
Wait, that
and then
kinda
I'll go
hurts,
on
bro.
with
Right
you.
here,
let's
chat.
just
I
do
really
that. Let's
thought
just
he was
do
gonna
that.
kill
I'll
Techno.
kill
I'm not
Technoblade,
giving you the
and then I'm
book,
going to
Quackity.
kill you. Good.
There's nothing you can
Let's
do.
get working with it.
Wait, don't
Let's just
kill-
get working
wait,
with
wait,
it, and
wait.
let me get rid of
Sam!
the biggest headache
Sam,
that
stop
I have
it!
Sam, I'm
in
being
this
abused.
server.
I'm being abused, Sam.
Let's just get rid of the two biggest
Three.
headaches that I have in this
No, no,
f***ing
no, no,
server
no, no,
then.
no.
Quackity had
Oh, I
reached
started
his
it too
breaking
soon.
point. For months, he had planned, recruited, manipulated, tortured, all to be turned away by Dream every day. That book was the last thing he needed to take control over the server. He could see it already, just over the horizon, his perfect world. Finally, he would never be overlooked. He would never be cast aside. Things would for once be how he wanted them. And there would be peace. But as always, the one who stood in his way was Technoblade. Since that day in L'Manberg all that time ago, Quackity had hated Techno. He tried for months to do the right thing, punish Techno for the crimes against the nation, but still he ended up dead. Not Techno, not the true criminal, him. He was blinded by vengeance, an anger that lied patiently inside him until that very day. And in the same way Techno did it, with the same pickaxe that scarred him, a wound that would never heal, Quackity would finally, for the first time in the history of the server, do what should have been done a long, long time ago. Kill Technoblade.
Technoblade, I'm gonna tell you one thing. One thing I went through was death. When you killed me, you think I was just gonna forget about it? You think I was just gonna walk away? You think I was just gonna walk away and just
when I
forget
saw this
about
for the
it?
first time, I was freaking out.
I'll tell you something, Techno. I'll tell you something. All right. In the same way you did it, I have a pickaxe, and I'll put it through your teeth, Techno. No. Through your
Techno was free. His oldest friend on the server, Philza, had saved him from certain death. And in his hand, Phil held the will Techno had given him before he left for the prison. And seeing that book, Techno smiled, as he knew his plan had worked. 3 months after Techno's visit, Philza was devastated, sure that his friend was gone, as no one who had spent that long in prison would have any hope of getting out.
Because Philza forgot.
And so, finally accepting his friend's fate,
lore-wise,
he brought
forgot.
upon the courage
Or
to
not
read.
forgot. So lore-wise, he misread it. I think it was supposed to be 3 days, and Philza, again, this is lore-wise, thought it said 3
His will.
months.
But as he scanned the first page, he was shocked at what he saw. He scrambled through the snow and over to the syndicate meeting room. There was still hope for Techno. One final plan that would save him from the wrath of Quackity and Sam.
Boom! Stasis
He
chamber.
moved to the back
Activate.
of the chair. Every member in the syndicate had their own Ender Pearl stasis chamber. This effectively works by having the player throw an Ender Pearl into a pool of rising water and letting it sit there. This way, if any member needed to summon anyone immediately for a meeting, all they would have to do was close a trapdoor, and the pearl would collide, teleporting the player from wherever they are in the world to their seat at the table. And so, Phil stared. His friend only one click away. And just seconds before Techno's death, Phil closed the trapdoor, and he was set free. After greeting an elated Phil, the two made their way through a tunnel and into Techno's secret bunker. And as the door fell to the ground, Techno saw light for the first time in 3 months. But as much as he wanted to take a break from the madness, he knew his friend was still inside that terrible place. And he could only imagine the terrible things Quackity was going to do to him. He needed to think of a way to break him out. And lucky for him, Dream had given him countless books of information about the prison and everyone who had anything
And the
to do with
location
it.
of the blueprints.
But those books would be nothing compared to what he was about to find. In one of the books was a set of coordinates. And as Techno began making his way to the location, he realized exactly where Dream was leading him. All that time ago, the first place him and Dream had ever spoken on the server. He traveled across the world, through forests and oceans until he stood at the foot
Evan,
of the
fam,
mountain.
you went off on
He
this,
wondered
bro.
what Dream could have possibly hid at the top. But he had no time to sit around and wonder. And so, he began his ascent.
And again, this is all Evan recreated all this with Lord Cantor's help of the scene, but this is not from Technoblade's stream. This is recreated by Evan and Lord Cantor. Let's go!
All right, this is the part where I end the stream. It's really climactic, isn't it?
Right? Yes! Woo! Oh my God!
Thank you all so much for watching. This took forever, so if you enjoyed, don't forget to like and subscribe. We're almost at 1 million. Also, thanks again to Sandbox for paying the bills. If you want to pay your own bills, the Sandbox can help you too.
All right, we don't need that. Guys, seriously, make sure you subscribe to Evan. Oh my God. Yeah, he's over 900 now. 902,000. Let's go. Let's go. 1 million subs. All right, chat. Let me bring you in. Spotify, you playing? Spotify gets my word in Sam face. All right, let's give them a break. Oh my God. Again, Evan is one of the best storytellers, seriously, and that is why congrats, Evan, on getting nominated for Streamy for, I think, best documentary. And I always missay that word, documentary. Woo! But he got nominated, so hopefully he wins. But and this is why, because he is so good. He has an amazing narrating voice. The way that he puts these stories together, recreates some of these scenes with the original scenes, but puts it all together in such a captivating story that brings you in as the viewer, right? Like, I don't know how long this was, a little over an hour, but it flew through. It was seamless. And then the way that he adds music, right? So all your senses are heightened with the exception of taste. You know, I'm hungry right now. I mean, I got my drink and my dried up Twizzlers, but he's amazing at it. And again, he is part of the reason of why A, I got cut up on the Dream SMP, but B, of why I fell in love with the Dream SMP, because I was not around for anything before Dream killing Tommy. So this is how I found out about all of it, is through Evan telling the story. This was amazing, and I agree, Evan. I still think Evan's best video is Legend of Filza. I think this is the best story of the Dream SMP, though, part 7. So I think this would probably be his second best video overall. But seriously, you went ham on this. I absolutely love this. Fam, make sure you subscribe to EvanMCGaming. Let's get him to 1 million subs. Yeah, thank you so much for joining. If you enjoyed this reaction, please help support the channel by smashing that subscribe and like button. It's absolutely free and it greatly helps out the channel. If you'd like to see some of these reactions a little bit sooner, or if you'd like to see me play Minecraft, follow me on Twitch at HotSauceBeats402. Enjoy your weekend. Have a Merry Christmas. And remember, it's eat, sleep, and make beats. And as usual, be kind to one another. And that's all I got. Boom. I'm out. Got 'em beloved, the Sauce Gang. Peace. I love you guys. Peace out.